Edward made short work of his assailant, but not before sustaining an ugly wound in his arm, which soon turned dangerously septic. Thanks to primitive and painful surgery, he survived. The famous story of Edward's life being saved by his wife, Eleanor of Castile, who is said to have sucked out the poison from the wound, derives only from a single obscure Dominican chronicler, Ptolemaeus Lucensis. According to the old Dictionary of National Biography, it is utterly unworthy of credit. The new Oxford Dictionary of National Biography is equally dismissive. Eleanor, in fact, had not even accompanied him on the crusade. He took ship from Acre in September 1272 and returned to England to find himself King Edward I. 5 years later, if persistent rumors are to be believed, Baibars was involved in another attempt at assassination, which went more calamitously wrong. It was said that he had prepared a bowl of poisoned kumis, that fermented mare's milk so unaccountably popular with Turks and Mongols alike, for an enemy, and had then thoughtlessly drunk from it himself. He did not live to see the end of Outremer. Franks were still to be found in plenty in most of the principal cities. In his 17-year reign, however, he had eliminated most of the Christian dominions around the coast. The days of the survivors, as they themselves well knew, were numbered. Then, halfway across the Mediterranean, on Easter Monday 1282, there occurred a totally unexpected event which was to have an immense impact on virtually the whole of the Middle Sea. It has always been known somewhat poetically as the War of the Sicilian Vespers. If Charles of Anjou was to accomplish his grand design, he needed a suitably subservient pope. On the death of Clement IV in 1268, he had therefore used his considerable influence in the Curia to keep the papal throne unoccupied for 3 years, conveniently covering the time when he was away on his brother's crusade. The vacancy had ended only when the authorities at Viterbo, where the conclave was being held, actually removed the roof from the palace in which the cardinals were deliberating. Their hasty choice had then fallen on Gregory X, who proved distinctly unhelpful, thwarting Charles's attempts to have his nephew Philip III of France elected Holy Roman Emperor and allying himself with Byzantium to the extent of actually effecting, at the Council of Lyon in 1274, a temporary reunion of the Eastern and Western churches. Only in 1281, with the election of another Frenchman, Martin IV, did Charles get his way at last.